one day I wake up and half of my Apple contacts is deleted, like from iCloud. And to me, my network is everything.
Yeah,
so I'm on the phone with like Apple engineers, like
retrieve this data. Damn it.
Not only that, I'm like, I'm gonna sue you guys.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you know, like it's like a sign. Yeah. I'm like, dude, we're doing this. There's no name for it, but I'm like, I'm starting this company.
Yeah.
Like somebody's got to fix this.
Yeah.
You know, like I keep thinking Apple or Google, somebody's gonna do something about it, but I was like, okay, I guess we're doing it.
Yeah.
And I try to be very upfront and share with my friends. I'm like, I wake up with imposter syndrome. It doesn't matter what I do, what I've done. And sometimes I'll like reflect. I did a lot of that this last week, closing 25 out. I'm like, oh my God, dude, like I've done some crazy things for somebody my age or whatever. It doesn't matter
we achieve
what
level you are. You always have a level of insecurity about am I who I am, who I say I am, or how am I perceived I'm to be, or
every day. At one point was one of the top people globally, even like I sold like 400 Teslas.
What?
Yeah. Shit. It was insane. Okay. Part of the whole like why some of the executives why I got on their radar was this like, so you put like your life savings into our company.
Yeah.
You
have your YouTube channel.
Are leading the globe in referrals, and they're asking me like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Don't they sell themselves? Yeah. Elon is where you are. I'm standing in the front. All of a sudden, I'm like, I'm going to shoot my shot.
Yeah.
Like everybody starts yelling out Vietnam, Russia, wherever they're from for Elon to like take Tesla there. And I yell out Kazakhstan at the top of my lungs. Elon kind of chuckles. He's like, oh, we have some good friends in Kazakhstan. I'm assuming he's talking about me. Yeah. Because I talked to him about it previously, and he's like, you know what? We'll take Tesla to Kazakhstan. He like
on stage
makes a mandate and announces it. Nayaa is ready to go. We're launching actually this year. Yeah. We're announcing the launch on this podcast.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Let's go, boy.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay. Talk to
January
me.
15th.
January 15th. Yeah. Let's go.
So this is January 2nd.
Yes.
I can't think of a better place to come and announce the launch, but we're launching.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the N2N podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. N2N, also known as the Ninja or Prolific Ninja by my family and friends. And because my fans are my friends, you can call me Ninja too. This is the N2N podcast, the alpha to the omega, the beginning, the end, talking about life, motivation, drive, success, and self-improvement, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Happy New Year, back in the studio, first recording 2026. It is January 2nd, but you'll hear this next week. Glad to be back in the studio. I hope everybody has had a wonderful start to the New Year's. As you know from this podcast, 4 years into it, we don't slow down at the end of the year. We actually pick up pace so that we are sprinting out the gate 2026. And we are sprinting today with a very, very, very special guest on our show. But before I introduce this guest, if you've been listening for a while, if you're new to the show, you know I start the show as I start my day. So when I wake up in the morning, I thank God and the universe for another opportunity to be great and to hopefully inspire just one person to live to their fullest controllable potential. Hopefully that's you today. And so with that, I want to thank everybody that has followed, liked, comment, supported, shared the show over the last 4 years. That's how we grow. We do this on an energy exchange, okay? So if I'm giving you free advice or free game, which I actually am because I'm paying for all of this, you would owe me a karmic debt, an energetic debt, and I don't want that debt, especially in 2026. So in order to repay that or restore that karmic balance, please share the show. We like to say if your knowledge swole, share the show. That is how we grow. Or you can also support any of the projects that I work on, which is westlooplaw.com, my law firm in Houston, CuraConnector.com, a health tech AI company, LegacyXToken.com, which is a blockchain company that puts real-world estates on the blockchain, and other companies that I've invested in, 1925 Tequila, Nayaa, which is an agentic AI that we're going to talk about today, because on today's show, we have a very, very, very special guest on the show. Introduction is huge, so let me just go through this before I announce who it is. He's my little brother from another mother. He's the unofficial Prince of Kazakhstan, the unofficial mayor of Austin, Texas, very accomplished AI, technology, oil and gas engineering guy, none other than my very, very good friend and younger brother, Anuarbek in oh shit.
Imanbayev, let's go.
No.
We gotta keep that.
No. We gotta Anuarbek Imanbayev, also known as Anwar, bro. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, man.
Glad to have you. Glad you
Excited.
came in, bro. Super.
This is the only way to start 2026, man.
Is it?
What an intro.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. Before we get into this illustrious history and what he's working on now, which is going to revolutionize or evolutionize the way we interact and connect with our fellow friends and humans. Let's talk about where people can find you.
Okay.
Yeah. On Instagram, wherever.
Instagram is probably the easiest. Anuarbek Iman, or at Anuarbek Iman is my Instagram.
So spell that out.
ANUARBEK IMAN.
And
at Anuarbek Iman.
And where else?
That's generally where we are.
Okay, and what you're working on now?
Our Nayaa.community.
And spell that.
NAYAA.AI or community. Hold on. What is that? That's a good.
We can edit this out, dude.
No. Yeah. Let's see.
I think it's Nayaa.community. Yeah. You better recommend. Yeah. You memorize this shit, bro.
You can follow our company at Nayaa.community. So NAYAA.community on Instagram.
Okay, so I'm gonna reverse this. So usually I go through somebody's kind of background leading up to what they're doing today. I'm gonna go the opposite because what you're working on, and by the way, I'm investor number one in this deal, is Nayaa.
Yep.
What is Nayaa? Let everybody know what Nayaa is because that kind of sets the stage for actually your past.
Yep.
So what is Nayaa and why are we doing this now?
At Nayaa, we're building an agentic AI that focuses on your contacts or address book. Imagine the contacts that you have on your phone, reimagining that in the AI age. If you take a look, the contacts app hasn't changed probably in over 20 years. Yeah. We got AI, we got mobile phones, all this stuff, and every time I go into my contacts app, it irritates me. So this is kind of me fixing that for the modern age. In essence, at a high level, what Nayaa does, it syncs with your contacts. It enriches background information. You know the amount of information that's out there on people, right? So if you want to understand who you're dealing with, it not only enriches background info from online, it also syncs to social media. This is how we interact and keep up with people, right?
Right.
On LinkedIn, it's all the professional changes. On Facebook and Instagram, if you got married, popping out babies, all those type things, we have a live connection into all those things.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's a lot that isn't online, basically. I call that offline enrichment. One of my friends made fun of me, and she said, hey, Anwar, we call that conversations. So whenever you're just interacting with somebody and they mention a spouse's name, a kid's name, we have a very quick way of inputting that information.
Yeah.
So the AI is using what it takes from online, what you put into it from offline to create context.
Yeah, that's incredible, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have an inside view as an investor, but for the audience that is not up to speed to AI, what is agentic AI, and can you be more like illustrative or specific on an example? For example, what Nayaa, Nayaa, the app does.
Nayaa is actually named after my 2-year-old son, Ayan.
Yeah.
His name is spelled Aayan. I just spelled it in reverse.
Well, it's fantastic.
It doesn't mean anything at all. It's the way I was thinking about it when we first started this is, we're used to like Alexa, Siri, some sort of like, female name. And the way when we use the word agentic, the way I would distinguish right now in this ChatGPT era, when you go to ChatGPT and you ask it a question, that's generative AI. You're basically asking a question. The AI is going out to the ether, and they're LLMs, large language models, right? So if you're asking what is the capital of Kazakhstan, for instance, the answer is Astana. It's going out to the web, to a bunch of different websites and trying to figure out what that data is. And the way I understand it, it's essentially like every word, because it's going to write out, it's not going to just say Astana, it'll say the capital of Kazakhstan is Astana. Each of those words, it's basically like going out there, finding out what the first word is. And then the second word is kind of like using predictions, right? It's most likely 99% chance the second word in the sentence the AI is trying to write out is going to be whatever
The capital.
The capital, right? So that's, to me, kind of like generative AI to me is a reactive AI. Okay. It's going out there, whatever's on the web, it's pulling that information. Agentic to me is very different. Okay. I think agentic is where things are heading.
Okay.
I mean, ultimately, we can have a discussion about this, but if you believe or not that we will one day have AGI, artificial general intelligence, that's essentially like a computer that thinks like a human.
Yep. Yep.
I'm 50-50 whether that's going to happen or not, but that's definitely like what, a lot of people are thinking that's where things are headed. But to me, agentic AI, instead of being reactive, it's a proactive AI.
Okay.
So this is an AI that can reason, think, and come up with things ahead of time. So what we're building is basically, imagine if Nayaa, the AI, understands your needs as a business person. So for you, it might be, hey, I'm looking to invest in companies. For your law firm, it might be, cases, litigation, whatever it is. Your AI on your phone in your pocket would understand these are the business opportunities and different things that I'm looking for, right? And then as you're dealing with your network, you're putting in, I tell people, you're not going to download Nayaa and overnight it's going to be like this amazing, it's, the Japanese term Kaizen?
Yes.
1% improvements?
Yes.
You get out of Nayaa what you put into it. So every day when you're interacting with for instance, as soon as you get off this podcast, you're going to probably learn a couple of things about me that you didn't know.
Right.
So the concept is you get off and what we're building is you can just voice dictate into Nayaa. Say, I just met with Anuarbek. We talked about his company, Nayaa. I learned this interesting tidbit. It's actually named after his son, Ayan, 2-year-old son, and he just made it in reverse, right? That's a small bit of information that is relevant that you know today. In the next week or two, you're probably going to forget that. But AI is amazing at keeping up with information like that.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So you basically just feed it. You can go into the app and just kind of verbal diarrhea what you learned from Anuarbek. Or you can even text the Nayaa agentic AI and say, hey, I just had this podcast with Anwar. Here's a few things that I learned about him, and call it good. And once you've done that, it's almost like putting it in your back pocket. But with the power of AI, that information is always useful to you, because I might mention something on this podcast that you're not even thinking about. Somebody in your contacts, maybe we talk about oil and gas or whatever it is, right? I used to run Mozambique LNG. Maybe somebody in your phone has worked in LNG space or whatever. That's where the proactive part of AI is. It's going to take those two different pieces of information that in your mind is not even front of mind. So it's basically starting to do, AI gymnastics to try to lob
so
up
for
to
example,
you.
Somebody in my contacts on their LinkedIn says, I just got recruited to work at LNG project in Mozambique. Mm-hmm. And then Nayaa will pick that up, AI, and say, oh, wait, this other contact, Anuarbek,
used to run
head up operations.
LNG.
Maybe Yun, you should connect the two. And then I would reach out, hey, I saw you on your LinkedIn. Or I would tell Nayaa, please message Steve, who's starting his project, and to then connect them to Anuarbek.
And the thing that I'm most excited about is...
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. The thing that I'm even more excited about is we're inundated with information, right?
Right.
Every day, overload. People are posting
your
on
brain is
Instagram.
wired to remove information.
Yep.
Its survival instinct is like, take away the information that doesn't matter to me.
Exactly.
Right?
So
now we're overloaded. Right.
So that whole imagine if you've got 1,000 people in your phone, for instance. I've got actually 8,000 contacts on my phone.
I've got like 3,500.
Yeah. So 3,500 people. That's impossible to keep up with, first of all, right? But when you're connected to all those people's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, we even have X or Twitter working as well, right? So these are like your thoughts that people are putting out there.
Yeah.
Every day when you wake up, you're reading almost like a AI digest newspaper on all 3,500 of those people.
Yeah.
But sometimes you could maybe be on there and kind of like going through the newspaper and reading it, but you don't read the newspaper every day, right?
No, you're just catching headlines.
Yeah, you catch headlines and you're on the go.
Yeah.
But the AI reads that newspaper every day and documents. So if one of your friends is posting, hey, we just had a baby, the baby's name is Chad. the AI would know to go put that piece of information in that contact for your friend.
Right, without you even knowing.
Without you even knowing it.
Right.
So it's keeping up. I mean, people
So
mention
then you
pet
get invited
names.
to a dinner party at the friend, and you look up the contact. Oh, they just had a baby named Chad.
How's Chad? How's Chad doing?
Yeah.
How's baby Chad?
Yeah.
You know, like.
So it's a personal assistant, chief of staff, executive assistant, social manager. All like it's beyond that, all in one.
Yeah, it's crazy that you say that, like regarding chief of staff and personal assistant. So you and I hung out during Formula One this year. We hung out with some top executives from Crypto.com.
Yeah,
and one of them, we helicoptered in and out, right? So getting out of the helicopter, this guy, like, I was telling him about my background, and I mentioned Nayaa, and this guy is just losing his mind. He's like, I need this, you know?
Yeah, I need this.
Yeah, and he goes, and he explains to me, he goes, this is basically like a chief of staff in your pocket. Yeah. I love that. That's kind of like a Steve Jobs, 1,000 songs in your pocket. And I didn't really think about that much until one of our main advisors, Scott Gellick at Microsoft, he's been over there for over 30 years. He's VP of engineering and oversees a lot of their AI projects, especially Copilot. Yeah, that's Microsoft's ChatGPT equivalent. He loved when I was talking to him about it. I mentioned to him, hey, this guy said we're kind of like a chief of staff in your pocket. And he goes, that's brilliant. Yeah. I go, in what way? He goes, well, what's the difference between a personal assistant and a chief of staff? A personal assistant to an executive is basically somebody that goes and gets you coffee,
doing
gets your dry cleaning tasks to make your life a little bit easier. Yeah. But a chief of staff is very different. Chief of staff has domain expertise. Yeah. So like at Tesla, Elon Musk's chief of staff is the manager of a company or a group called the Office of the CEO. There's like 10 plus people, but every one of those people has domain expertise in electric vehicles and automotive, engineering, business, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. They're not there to get Elon's coffee. They're there to
It's like
help.
A cabinet.
Yep.
For the president.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Like everybody has their own expertise. Yeah.
So imagine Nayaa is this chief of staff that's high powered in your pocket, that's got access to all this information. But we're not selling any of that information. This is all for you.
Yeah, it's kept to you.
It's kept to you, yeah. The information is secure. But imagine having this. One of my favorite movies is I don't know if it's my favorite, but a movie that I connected with is The Devil Wears Prada. Yeah, do y'all remember that? Of course. Yeah, do you remember that scene where I forget the character's name now, Miranda or whatever? The Devil Wears Prada lady, she doesn't remember anybody, what they do or whatever, right? But she has this assistant that's like right behind her. Yeah, that's whispering in her ear. Oh, that's so and so CEO of this and that. And his kids' names are Joe, whatever.
Yeah. They live here. They vacation here.
It's just like this. So Nayaa, I kind of envision as that. It's like, imagine in your pocket, you have this later on, like, I think technology is evolving. I 100% think we're going to have AI wearables. We're going to have things in our earpieces. As we're walking around, like, if I came to meet you, Nayaa would just start telling me, hey, this is Jan. Wife's name is X. He's got 2 kids, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And like the softer things for us to have a conversation.
But this is all public information. Like the app public. Is not intruding into sensitive, confidential. So whatever you post or whatever is publicly available, Nayaa is essentially scraping that and finding connections.
One of the coolest things that we do is while we're doing that linking and scraping is we pull profile pictures. Mm-hmm. First of all, from LinkedIn, I think LinkedIn photos look the cleanest. They're very professional.
More professional, yeah.
And then if it's not, if you don't have something on LinkedIn, which is very rare, then it goes to Facebook. Facebook is more personal, right? And then if it's not Facebook, it'll go to Instagram. If not Instagram, it goes to Twitter, right? We also, to me, photos are very important. One of my pet peeves on the Native Contacts app is for you. It'd be like NN is your abbreviation, what? Jan Win. Yeah. That doesn't mean shit
Nothing
to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your face, I don't know. I think it like brings the contact to life almost. Yeah. When I'm interacting, if there's a profile photo, I'm very OCD with this stuff. Yeah. And you know this when we first met. Yeah. As long as I can remember, I take networking very, very seriously, so we can dive a little bit into the history of why I do. Yeah. But for as long as I can remember, when I meet somebody for the first time, I take a selfie with them.
Yeah, I did the same. Before meeting you, I did the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you and I did that. I mean,
yeah.
I remember exactly where you and I met.
Yeah.
We did I mean, you were on the go. We
Yeah.
got introduced through
Real
our
quick.
friend Anon.
Yes.
But we quickly took a selfie, and I texted that to you.
Yeah.
There's two reasons why I do that. Number one is when we start interacting, calling and texting each other, now I'm interacting with a human. I remember, maybe I'm just like a lot more visual than most people, but to me, like
you humanize. You're
Yeah.
humanizing the contact.
I'm humanizing
already.
the contact. You came to life basically, so it made me want to interact with you more. And then the second step that I do that people should, I think, emulate is I text that to you.
Yeah.
Why do I do that?
So I remember who you are.
People don't delete their text threads.
No,
So even if I message you 6 months later and said, "Yo," what's
I'll
the
see the
first thing that
picture.
pops up?
I'll
It's
see the
that
picture,
photo. You
yes.
go, "Oh, that's that Asian dude that I met from
Yeah,
Kazakhstan," right?
Yeah.
Even if it was for like 10 seconds, that photo is like a flagpole.
Yeah.
I've seen it time and time again. Like,
Yeah.
because
You
right
don't know
that
how many
moment-
times I've been to conferences
Yep.
taking numbers and
Yep.
bumping and all this, and then I get home and I'm
Yeah.
like, who the fuck is this person
Yep.
again?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, sometimes I'll have a name.
Yep.
I mean, I'll have a number.
just the first name.
I have a
Yeah.
number that I texted, hey, great to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
And then no name associated. I don't even know. And then
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
home, I'm like, oh man, yeah. So yeah, definitely. So who is on the Nayaa team right now?
Nayaa team, very
Besides
small.
the advisors, investors.
Yeah. We have a lot of very high-powered, amazing entrepreneurs, business people on the advisory and investment team. But Nayaa, in essence, right now is just 3 people. 6, 7 years ago, I think I do quite a bit in like the Tesla, SpaceX.
Yeah. Before, yeah.
Space.
So in
Go.
that space.
Yeah.
So to let you all know, the audience, Anuarbek was one of the initial people into Tesla, also Bitcoin, very integral in bringing Tesla and Elon Musk to Austin. As I said, he was the unofficial mayor of Austin.
And
Because-
Kazakhstan.
and
I'm
the
more proud
prince-
of.
and the
I'm more,
prince of Kazakhstan.
I'm more proud of Kazakhstan. I did convince Elon to take Tesla to Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
He sent me there with a few of his executives. We installed superchargers and set up sales and all
Yeah.
that. This was years and years ago, but yeah,
Yes.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so therefore got very connected into SpaceX. This guy, in fact, when the auto taxi rolled out in Austin, the first person contacted was this guy
Yep.
to test with influencers the
And you were the first
I was the first-
non-influencer. I don't think people know
Passenger.
this. He was the first passenger in Robotaxi because we started the beta in Austin.
Yeah.
And I called him up. Jan happened to be in town. I'm like, "Bro, you want to be first?" He's like, "Of course."
Let's go. Yeah, so this
Yeah.
guy, as I say, is the unofficial mayor of Austin, but very integral and very knowledgeable at Tesla, electric vehicles.
Yeah, I'm a
all
big fan. My whole I tell people, with like crypto and Bitcoin, people say they go down the rabbit hole
Yeah.
as soon as they discover Bitcoin. I
Yep.
think you're probably one of those.
Yeah, I'm a maxi.
Maxi, yeah.
Yeah.
That happened to me over a decade ago with Elon.
Yeah.
I mean, I met him very briefly, but
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah,
because this goes back to to your time at Anadarko and all that. This goes back to how you never know where the opportunity comes.
Yeah,
Right. You just do your work the best you can.
true. Yeah. So
Ahead of the curve. Go ahead.
my background is split. My professional career is basically 2 phases. Phase 1 is in oil and gas. I mean, I was just regular engineer working in oil and gas. And then the second part of it is more like tech investment type. So I'm originally from Kazakhstan. In the early 90s, the Soviet Union broke up.
Yep.
So we had this crazy opportunity. My entire family, like my dad, at the time 2 other siblings, and my mom, we all moved here in the early 90s. It was basically the plan wasn't for us to just immigrate here. It was just to kind of come, learn English. We didn't speak a word of English when we got here. We lived in Boston for 1 year. And then the second year, we ended up in Houston. So that's how I spent most of my life growing up outside of Houston in the woodlands. But it's because of the oil and gas. This is Mecca basically for all things.
Yeah, but
So-
your father, back up just a second. Your father was poised to basically run Kazakhstan.
No. He's is a top, one of the top oil and gas executives.
Yeah, got it.
Very, very successful guy. My dad, because of his own success, my siblings and I, from a very young age, he basically had the bar was set high. I mean, you come from an Asian family, right?
Yeah. You're gonna go rule the world.
No. We had big aspirations.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, the plan was, to get into the oil and gas for me wasn't a passion thing.
Right.
That's what we do in Kazakhstan. We're basically like, if you want to think about Kazakhstan, it's like Middle East, Saudi
natural
Arabia.
resource rich, though.
Huge. Oil and gas rich, resource rich. So I got into oil and gas, and the plan at some point was to go back. My dad's whole thing for us is, you're given these incredible opportunities. America is the land of opportunity, the education system. I think he understood that intuitively once he got here.
My parents the same.
Yeah. So he understood this wasn't all for free. He always had this sense of like, you have to give back. So that was a big part for us is like, hey, I didn't have any excuses growing up. He's like, hey, you're going to get straight A's.
Yeah.
Stay out of trouble. The whole point of all this is not for you to just enjoy your life. You have to be of service to your fellow humans.
Yeah.
And my dad is a very patriotic guy. Kazakhstan is not America. So what he was thinking is, hey, like, educate the kids here, let them get some amazing Western experience in the business world, and then go back and help.
Yeah.
That was the entire, from day one, that was kind of the whole, And then me as a young guy, I was like, well, like, I'll go and one day run our national oil company. Yeah. I'll run for prime minister and president and whatever. When I was younger, dude, I it wasn't from like, I want to rule the world. It was like, how can I help as many people as I can? And the thing that was the most relatable was my own people.
So you bring up a very important point, which is many people have a very hard time identifying what their purpose is. A lot of people's purpose is, I want to go buy the Lambo.
Yep.
It's a very material, inconsequential, very ego-driven goal.
Yep.
But when you make a goal so much bigger about other people, just go help. You got to give back. How does that change a mindset? How does it change a reference point of like motivation and inspiration?
I don't know. It does drive you, man. Like I remember, I think I was like 12 years old when my dad sat me down and explained some of this stuff. So I have a little bit of a different background than most people. Like most 12-year-olds, most 12-year-olds are not sitting down talking about we're not talking about helping a whole people or nation or whatever. But since I was 12, I took it very seriously. I don't know if it's just the kind of person that I am. I believe my dad, right? Yeah. I was like, yeah, you're right. Like we should be able to do these things. And since 12 until I was 32, I think, I was in Toastmasters and speech and debate. Like you put Anuarbek in front of 1,000 people, I light up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, good, man.
I love it. I've got a lot of training around it. And it gave me drive, it gave me a mission, it gave me direction all of my life, you know? And even to this day, it's kind of a joke now, but like my friends that, anybody that I knew in high school, in college, you ask, what does Anuarbek want to be when he grows up? And they're like, oh, president of Kazakhstan.
Still.
No. Those are
you never say never, brother.
I went a different direction. But a lot of the inflection point of when I went a different direction was around this time that I discovered Elon, this young entrepreneur that started Tesla and SpaceX.
So get into how you did that, because this is a really great story about just doing the work. And then you never know where the path leads. So
I grew up in the Woodlands, go to school at University of Texas at Austin. My undergrad's from UT. I did petroleum engineering, right? Yep. Oil and gas. Nothing at all. I have zero connection to the Bay Area or tech whatsoever. I've always kind of liked technology. Yeah. Kind of like maybe I should have majored in something along those lines.
You're forward thinking. I mean, me too, man. I always.
Yeah. So it wasn't anything more than that, but I spent over 12 years working at Anadarko, and it was a very, very conventional upbringing, in my opinion. When you first start in oil and gas as a young engineer, they give you a pickup truck and they tell you to go hit the road. So I worked, oil and gas is never found in Houston or Austin, not nice places. It's like small towns in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, I've been to probably every small town you could imagine in a pickup
Ford
truck.
F-150 just cruising the
and Anadarko had very nice, shmee offices in the Woodlands, like by the Woodlands Mall. There were these two towers with the basketball court on the 14th floor, very nice amenities and all that kind of stuff. I used to joke that we're the Google of oil and gas. Yeah. But I didn't get to enjoy any of those amenities because in the beginning, the first 5, 6, 7 years of my career, it's just you're grinding.
You got to pay dues.
You're learning. Yep, you're paying your
Everybody,
dues.
You cannot escape paying dues,
So
regardless
I went from
of the industry.
So onshore, this was like, maybe it was like just the right timing. I fracked one of the first wells in the Eagleford Shale.
Yeah.
Just being part of a team down there. And then I spent a lot of time working offshore, Gulf of Mexico. I don't know if we're calling that Gulf of America now, but I used to fly. Yeah, I used to fly to Houma, Louisiana. I remember getting on a chopper, and you fly almost an hour and a half in the middle of nowhere in the ocean.
Oh, so you were one of them?
Yeah, I was one of them.
You drilling like 6 weeks out, 6 weeks in, something like that.
Months. You're out there for months. Yeah, so it's definitely a really, really interesting experience. I'd work offshore production is really cool. Like you have these, they call them spars. Imagine like a Coke can floating in the middle of the ocean, right? So like you're maneuvering it to make sure that it's upright and it's connected to all these, bunch of wells that are deep, mile and a half below the ocean water.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there overseeing all that kind of stuff. So I gained some really cool experience. And then at some point,
any hurricanes, things tripping you out?
Oh yeah,
freak you out? Like
yeah.
Puckered up.
Went through a lot of those things.
Okay,
yeah, we had to shut down, come back to land quickly. But I had incredible mentors as well. That's one thing I remember from my career is I was never shy to ask for help, for mentorship. And one of the main mentors, his name is Doug Lawler. Doug was kind of a rising star at Anadarko. Then he left to be CEO of Chesapeake. I mean, very like still admire this dude. He basically was my mentor. He led me through all this stuff, and he's the one that encouraged me outside of engineering to get into more of a business role. So I got promoted into the Southern Region Business Planning Group. This is where no longer oil and gas. I started working with like budget, portfolio, understanding like the business side,
administrative side.
But big. This is like huge, like for a whole region.
$1 billion projects.
Yeah, billions of dollars. Yeah. So then,
before you head on, you bring up a very, very good point, is the idea of having a mentor. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people, young people, their egos are so big that they're afraid to ask for help, right? So therefore, you never get connected to a mentor because you think you know it all.
Yep.
But the mentor not only guides you, but shows you that it could be achievable.
Yep.
Right? It's like you don't know what's possible until you see what's possible.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So having somebody that is like the CEO of who's moved and progressed to be a CEO of an oil and gas, major oil and gas company.
Yep.
You see that it's visible. Like how did you get over the idea of not being afraid to ask for help? Or were you ever afraid? Or like you're just like, fuck it, like I need help. Or
it's amazing. Doug essentially was like executive vice president over international. Basically, like he's being groomed to be the CEO of Anadarko, right?
Yeah.
And then at one point, when I started doing more of the business side of things, and I was working kind of like a few levels, but in his organization, he was the VP of onshore.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how one thing leads to another. I don't know if it was his neighbor, but Doug was like, "Hey, you should, meet the CFO of Anadarko, the chief financial officer, Benjamin Fink, who's a good friend now."
Yeah.
So then I ended up like this operational chief introduced me to the finance guy.
Yeah.
And he and I became really, really good friends.
Yeah.
And he introduced me to the CIO, the chief information officer, so the technology. So like these
are
the kind
all
of people.
C-level.
I
guys that had nothing to do with a junior.
But like I have no reason to be in their office kicking my feet up, chatting about my career and Anadarko and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know. Like now that I hindsight, when I look back, I'm like that was pretty nuts.
That's bold. Yeah.
Yeah. That I would like, but like I wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
Like I would go and like, I mean, at one point I got transitioned from whenever I was doing the business planning and all that kind of stuff. The CIO was kind of started mentoring me. So I'd go to lunch with this guy. His name is Mario Cole. And I started just telling him all the things he's doing wrong in his organization.
This kid. Yeah.
And one day he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "You should come work in my organization and fix it if you're so like confident." So I transitioned from this like business planning kind of like portfolio,
analyst,
that kind of role, to the technology. That's like a unheard of thing.
Yeah.
And at the time, I remember.
And where did the ideas come? Or are you just shooting the shit? Like, where did you foresee these problems? Like obviously you're not exposed to the whole process to know the problems. Like, kind of like, how did you know what to talk about to say, dude, you're doing this wrong?
So my secret weapon my entire life has been my younger brother.
Okay. Okay.
He's the real brains.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, among the siblings or whatever. My brother is like an electrical computer engineer, business honor, or
very technical
engineering honors, like super. Just like I joke, he's like a Bill Gates or like just a very deep thinker.
Yeah.
My brother had always kind of like explained. He understands this stuff at a very high level, and he would explain it to me in layman's terms.
Yeah.
Hey, this was like 10, 12 years ago when we were talking about machine learning and big data.
Yeah.
My brother was the one that was kind of like, hey, like, you could actually apply this in oil and gas by doing this and that. So then I would, walk into Anadarko as if it was my idea. I'm like,
love it.
We're not doing enough with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was a stretch where that's when I, like, even in an oil and gas capacity, I started to this was no longer dabbling. Like, I'm like,
you're in it.
I reported like basically straight through the CIO and was talking about like looking at oil and gas technology 10 years out. And 12, 14 years ago, we didn't call it AI. It was basically like the foundational, the kindergarten AI, but we called it machine learning and big data and all that kind of stuff. So I started to gain this experience. And that's where, like, I think all this experience, I didn't know what it would lead to. Just whatever role that I was put in, I did it deeply. I tried to understand it. And again, in the back of my mind, what people at Anadarko weren't understanding is I was like, hey, like, in my head, one day I'm going to be running all the oil and gas in Kazakhstan. So I'm trying to understand.
Again, going back to the bigger purpose, right?
There's a reason why I wanted to go to all these different disciplines. I'm trying to understand how the whole business works.
Yes.
So the technology part of it was important and all that kind of stuff. And then this really interesting opportunity came up. Doug, my mentor, became promoted to the executive vice president of all of international for Anadarko. And one of the first things that he did is he brought me into the Mozambique LNG project, liquid natural gas. And at the time, Mozambique is like in East Africa, we found trillions of cubic feet of natural gas offshore.
Wow.
In the waters.
Yeah.
Okay. So the whole, and this was the crown jewel asset. I didn't understand it at the time, but understood it later on. Yeah. Is Anadarko was quietly positioning itself to get acquired. Yeah. And LNG is a really interesting piece of the business model for a big company because you're selling long-term contracts, like 15, 30 year to Japan and China. So imagine if you shore up a certain amount of your revenue with these like guaranteed contracts, offtake contracts, right? Yeah. Because LNG is, if you, in a nutshell, is you're taking natural gas, you're liquefying it. If you compress and cool natural gas, it turns into like a liquid, like almost like water. Yep. It looks like it, right? Yep. You guys have seen those ships that have like the big bubbles? Yep. That's LNG. Right. Then you take the compressed materials and you ship it on ships 600 times compressed to Japan and whatever. And then when it gets to the other location, they reverse the process. Regasify it. Yep. It turns from LNG back to natural gas to warm your house, all that kind of stuff. So
it's concentrated transport.
Yep, exactly. So one thing that I started doing is, now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of funny. All these things are coming back. But Doug, did an incredible job. But at one point, he, I think I was 27, 28 years old. This is like a $34 billion project. Yeah. I feel like I have no reason to be working at, heading up operations or whatever. Yeah. And Doug sends me a text message right before an email goes out to the whole company that he's leaving Anadarko to go be CEO of our biggest competitor, Chesapeake. So this is my mentor, the guy who's basically like,
he's walking you through.
He's walked me through my entire career, a very good friend. All of a sudden, gone. Yeah. He's going to a different company, and I'm like, oh my God.
Holy shit,
like,
what am I doing now?
And at that time, I'm like, I'm going to get fired, like for sure. Yeah. There's no way. Yeah. So then I started to think, and I think I was talking to my brother about it. I'm like, okay, what can I do that's a bit different than, somebody with like more experience or whatever? I was like, oh, I can lean into the technology piece. So with Mozambique LNG, I started to work with a few people at Anadarko to create a digital twin of the oil field.
So describe that.
So
Just a little more specific.
Yeah. So in essence, what we were doing is those wells that we were drilling offshore and bringing it
miles
onshore,
and miles of pipeline.
miles of pipeline, yeah,
electronics, whatever.
But there's like tons of sensors on these wells that are recording the pressures, the volumes,
flow,
yeah,
everything.
So we're taking, that's the big data, right? Yeah. So we basically started taking that information, putting them through engineering equations and algorithms to predict like pipe failure, hydrates, which are like ice plugs. It's almost like this proactive.
Yeah.
You're using
going back
data.
to agentic AI. Yeah.
This is like so kindergarten. You know what I mean? Like not even, it's like daycare.
Decades ago.
It's daycare of this stuff. But like I started to kind of, 12, 14 years ago, understand, there's a lot you could do.
Yeah.
By taking all this data and putting it through some, engineering models, modeling all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I started dabbling in the space at the time like that. Yeah. And I think that was kind of like my connection to the whole like Elon,
first
Tesla
stepping
world.
Stone.
Stepping stone, yeah.
So before we get into that, you're doing a lot of this at a very young age, considering relatively. Any imposter syndrome?
Oh, I still have it.
Okay, so
I'm 42 years old now, and
you're like, what am I doing running an AI company, bro?
I tell people this all the time. I'm like, man, and I try to be very upfront and share with my friends. I'm like, I wake up with imposter syndrome it doesn't matter what I do, what I've done, and sometimes I'll like reflect. I did a lot of that this last week, closing 25 out. I'm like, oh my god, dude, like. I've done some crazy things for somebody my age or whatever, but like it always feels. I don't know if you have the same feeling.
I have the same. You have the same.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what level you are.
Yeah.
You always have a level of insecurity about am I who I am, who I say I am, or how am I perceived I'm to be, or
every day.
Okay, so how do you get over it? I have my ways, but how do you get over the idea of at that time, and has it changed? Like when you're in your 20s versus in your 40s, like getting over imposter syndrome.
I don't know. Like I don't know if it's something from childhood or natural or it's like ingrained from your environment, but I always had a very deep like self-confidence, belief in myself.
Yeah.
I joke, and I think I've joked with you, and you've been a part of this since you and I have been friends. Yeah. I'm constantly, I feel like in rooms I don't belong in, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, like world leaders and whatever. I look around sometimes. I'm
young
like,
analysts in the C-suite.
I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But like, I just roll with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and
so it's almost like out of sight, out of mind. I mean, you have the thought, hey, I feel imposter syndrome, but fuck it, let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's go figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I constantly.
Or do you tie it into the bigger purpose? Like, I feel I shouldn't be here, but I got this bigger vision, so I got to do it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. The mission, the vision of what you see for your life.
Yeah.
Even though it feels like imposter syndrome, it's still along the path.
Yeah. Like, I got to be here. I'm meant to be
here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm meant to be here.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, like sometimes I question it myself.
Yeah. I do it a lot.
Yeah. I'm like, why do I think I should be here? But like.
No, I wake up and I'm like, it hits me where I tell this to I'm talking to myself. I'm like, do you realize you're running a multi-million-dollar law firm?
Yeah.
I'm like, me?
Dude,
like I'm talking to have this conversation.
It's not
like,
even.
Me?
Do you know how crazy it is for me? It's not even like running multi-million-dollar corporations or whatever. It's even like being friends with like America. Like where I grew up, dude, America was like this dream.
Oh yeah, well,
my dad in the late '80s, because of his position, would travel to Europe. Like he went to Germany and whatever. Like, and he'd come and like share stories and like. I mean, I remember looking at the very first time I looked at an American dollar bill.
Yeah.
To us, it was just like this, like, wow.
Dude, I used to iron my dollar bills, bro.
Yes, dude. So, like, people here listening to this may not understand. I'm like, dude, like, when I was younger, this was like 10, 11, 12 years old, just the fact to learn English, to have American friends.
Yeah.
That's
it's yeah.
This is not even like, I mean, I constantly feel like, what am I doing here? But like,
it's the relativity of it. Because
I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be doing this podcast. You know what I mean? With you in the middle of Houston. Like,
no.
All this feels like crazy sometimes to me. It's surreal, but like, but it's happening and I roll with it. But like, like I'm not gonna sit here and say that I come from like a difficult background. My parents did an amazing job providing and all that. But like, I grew up in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Like,
so I think maybe it's a relative, like I often think in the relative alternative universe, what my life would have been like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Huge,
like still back in Vietnam, third world. Well, now it's first world almost, but
yeah.
back then, 20,
Same.
30, 40 years ago.
Same.
Right? In the jungles,
Yep.
like freaking, picking out rice, roots and all that.
And I think I would have had a great life in Kazakhstan as well if that was the path.
Yeah.
If my parents, I'm so in awe of my dad.
Yeah.
Of jumping in the ocean with a wife and 3 kids,
And just going.
not knowing what's out there.
Just going.
Like I just the reason I'm in awe is I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm older now than when my dad. I think
It'd
it was
be
in
like
his
jumping
late
in
30s.
and going back to Mozambique with your son.
Dude,
and
it's not
starting
even
all over
Mozambique.
again.
Can I tell you, when we left Kazakhstan, it felt like we were going to the moon. This is in the early 90s, dude. A lot of the young people don't understand this stuff.
That's true, dude. That's true.
We had like calling cards. There's no Zoom.
Okay.
There's no FaceTime.
Yellow pages and
Yeah.
red keynote.
No, like you talk to family like once a month.
Yeah.
Because that's the amount of money you had on your calling card. I mean, I don't know if y'all did that with Vietnam,
did.
but you're yelling as loud as you can.
Because the
Because the connections are bad. Like that's the kind of that's how I was raised.
So
Technology
let's
changed all
segue
that.
this going to the moon and SpaceX and all that. So
Yeah.
Mozambique, LNG, how do you get connected to Elon?
Man, super random, but we on the board of directors of Anadarko, we hired this young, at the time, 32-year-old AI guy from the Bay Area on the board of Anadarko.
Wow.
This was such a
Why, like,
Fortune 500 oil company. This is not something that people do.
Yeah.
Our hindsight, I'm like, our CEO, Al Walker, was just a very forward-thinking guy.
Yeah.
The CEO before him, Jim Hackett. I mean, we were fortunate to be led by these like amazing executives. But yeah, they hired this guy, and Sean kind of, again, back to this mentor thing. I somehow figured out a way to get in front of him.
Yeah.
And explain to him, hey, I'm working in Mozambique. I've got these ideas. But he's working like deep AI.
Yeah. He's
whatever,
on the forefront.
10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
I think he came on our board in 2015. And he and I start like, he's basically kind of like showing me a path outside of oil and gas.
Yeah.
And he's the one that mentioned, he goes, hey, I have a friend in the Bay Area. He has this EV startup. I have no idea the friend he's talking about is Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah. So over 10 years ago, I had an opportunity to go to the Bay Area. I saw Tesla kind of in the early days. I think they were just making the Model S at the time. I mean, Elon is not at all what he is today.
Yeah.
Zero.
No, he's sold PayPal, but underwater and
I mean, just underwater, like now we know what he was going through, right? Tesla was about to go out of business, SpaceX was about to go out of business. He's just like this very ambitious young entrepreneur. And then I started to I met some of the guys that worked for Elon in the early days. My friend Praveen, his last name is Arichandran. He was voted Forbes 30 under 30. Elon put him as the head of growth at 25 years old.
Wow.
You can go check this. There's articles written about him. He was 25 heading up growth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, inspired by Elon. And when I started kind of understanding who this guy was and what he's working on, I became a big fan of Tesla early. I started investing and it changed my whole paradigm.
Yeah.
I talk about
it's like a fork in your road.
Big time inflection point in my life.
Yeah.
Like prior to that, it was like this kind of like a vision that my dad and I had.
Yeah.
Right.
Running
of
oil and gas in
oil and
Kazakhstan,
gas, Kazakhstan, all this. And all of a sudden, it's like, what is it? Before Christ, after death.
It's like BC,
BC AD, BC AD. Like it was like before Elon, after Elon.
Yeah.
Like if you look back at my life, it definitely was this distinction.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I'm like best friends with him or whatever. Like I just he inspired me to start to think different.
Yeah.
And one thing that I started to realize more and more is that like I admired what he was doing, but also when I started seeing people like Elon and people around him and how they like interacted and operated, I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
This is not old guard.
Yeah.
Old school way of like, and I understand how things work in Kazakhstan. Even if I'm president, even in the United States, you're bought by people.
Yeah. Blue blood, old school, multi-generational. Yeah.
You have certain, even Donald Trump, like he's president, but there's people that put him there, right?
Yes.
And I understood. I'm like, oh, this vision that like Elon is doing and it's freedom.
Yeah.
With capital, you're relevant.
Yes.
Your ideas matter.
Yeah.
Right?
1,000%.
So like,
Bitcoin.
yeah. So Bitcoin, like this was like over 10 years ago, but like, it was like this realization that I had. I completely dropped like overnight this whole president. I was like, no, I don't care about that stuff at all.
Yeah.
It kind of was like this shift over 10 years ago. My brain just kind of like shifted the whole paradigm. It's almost like I took off one pair of glasses and I put on another.
Yeah.
And I looked forward and like, it was just like completely different.
Painted out already.
Painted.
Yeah. You cracked the matrix, bro.
and it's dumb luck. Yeah. Like imagine like in the last 10 years. I wouldn't
say it's dumb luck because you positioned you did the things to position
again,
yourself
back to
in
imposter
that spot,
syndrome.
Right? Yeah.
It feels like dumb luck.
Yeah.
Because I'm like very fortunate that the things I was obsessed in, if there was 2 vehicles that you invested and put your money in the last 10 years, Tesla and Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, I just happened to be interested in it. That's it. That's all it was. I mean, I was so interested in Tesla. Y'all can go back and check this. Go to YouTube. I had a podcast called The Tesla Geek Show. I don't even know if you know this.
Yeah. No, I don't know this.
I mean, I know the inner workings of all the like EV technology. Like on this podcast with my buddy Russell and Eli, we would basically like tear down batteries in the Teslas. Like I knew this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I just was into it.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain
there's
it.
still a connection though. So it's that curiosity, which in much of research, a lot of success is rooted into your own curiosity, right? Because that helps you identify ideas.
It didn't feel like work, dude. I was playing basically, right? I was playing.
However, you still tied it in to say, Elon, you heard about Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about that, man.
Yeah. I mean, I basically, because of this interest, I started like, I bought a Tesla. Actually, Benjamin Fink, the CFO guy that I was telling you about, at this oil and gas, Fortune 500 oil and gas company, he had a Tesla. Imagine, like executive committee.
It's blasphemy.
I bought the second Tesla in Anadarko. And when I drove it into work, I had a coworker. I'm not going to mention him.
Yeah.
He's a friend.
Yeah.
He flicked me off. In the early days, it was not cool to have an EV. This is like very beginning
your
of
nose
Tesla.
on your own
Yeah. They were like, you're a sellout. Yeah. So I got into Tesla. Like I bought a Tesla. In the early days, I mean, it was very much startup.
Yeah.
The way Elon, this is something that he got from his PayPal days, is they had an owner referral program. So Elon's whole thing is instead of spending, like Tesla, even to this day, doesn't spend any marketing dollars on. You don't see like Tesla commercials during the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
So they spend all that money on the product.
Okay.
They're like, hey, develop an amazing product, and it's word of mouth.
It'll
sell itself.
Products will sell. Yep.
But one thing that Elon did is he put a structure together at Tesla called the owner referral program. In the early days, it was very lucrative for like Tesla owners.
Yeah.
So I, at one point, was one of the top people globally even. Like I sold like 400 Teslas.
What?
Yeah.
Shit.
It was insane.
Okay.
Part of the whole like why some of the executives, why I got on their radar was this like, so you put like your life savings into our company.
Yeah.
You
have your YouTube channel.
Are leading the globe in referrals. And they're asking me like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Don't they sell themselves?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm drinking the Tesla Elon Kool-Aid in the early days.
Well, that was Steve Jobs too. The product should sell itself.
Yeah. I think Elon was doing that, like, basically like following that formula to a T. And I led the globe, I think, at one point in these referrals. I won several cars from Tesla for free in the early days.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I just became like very, very fascinated with all these things that Elon was working on. And then at one point, I had this intuition that like Tesla, and if you follow the stock, Tesla does a lot of the stuff where like it trades flat for years.
Yeah.
Because the market just doesn't understand a company like Tesla, right? They've never understood it. Yeah. It's a very interesting dynamic. Still, it's happening. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it clicks and things get understood and it like 10x's.
Yeah.
And then again it trades flat and then it 10x's.
That's like life though too.
Yeah.
It's like life.
So at one point I didn't have any more to invest in the Tesla, and I was just like, I have this gut feel that Tesla is going to be one of the largest companies in the world. I believe in what Elon's doing with EVs and whatever. So I left Anadarko I think in late 17, 18, and I took my 401k and I put it in the Tesla.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to Vegas and like
Just all on
putting
black
it
or
all
red.
on
Yeah,
black
yeah,
or red.
yeah.
I guess red Tesla.
Red. Yeah.
I put it all on red and
Yeah.
was like, yeah. I sold my house.
So sometimes you have to go all in life.
Yeah. But the
If
other
you
thing that
believe in it strongly enough.
it's all in, but it's also like, I think one thing that I also understood is patience.
Yeah.
It's like, even when you're right, let's say you put in money in the Bitcoin and Tesla, you have to let that simmer.
You gotta let
You
it
have
stew.
to- you have to let it stew.
bro.
That's another thing,
You
you know,
can't
like,
overturn the heat because it'll burn. It'll just char.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, the advice that I would give to young people when it comes to investing is do your homework, but also like the hardest thing to do is that patience. It's to do nothing.
Are you telling me this because I'm an investor in
Yes,
Nayaa?
yes. Hold on
Just be
to
patient.
those shares.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
gotcha,
hold on to
gotcha.
those shares. But like, I sold my house and traveled the world for a couple of years.
But bridging the
basically-
Kazakhstan relationship with Elon.
Yeah, that came from like, I basically like, I didn't have a full-time job. So like, I was just like almost like a Tesla influencer because of my YouTube channel and stuff. I went to like pretty much every Tesla event. And at one of I think it was the Model Y unveil, Elon was on stage talking about the expansion of superchargers globally. And Elon is where you are. I'm standing in the front, and all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm going to shoot my shot.
Yeah.
Like, everybody starts yelling out Vietnam, Russia, wherever they're from, for Elon to like take Tesla there. And I yell out Kazakhstan at the top of my lungs. I'll send you. There's a video.
Yes,
Somebody yells out Kazakhstan, and it's actually me in the audience.
Yeah.
And Elon kind of chuckles. He's like, "Oh, we have some good friends in Kazakhstan." I'm assuming he's talking about me.
Yeah.
Because I talked to him about it previously, and he's like, "You know what? We'll take Tesla to Kazakhstan." He like
On stage.
makes a mandate and
Yeah.
announces it. No idea why.
Yeah.
The next day, I get an email from my friend who runs growth. He's like, "Hey, Elon's serious. Like, we're going to Kazakhstan. Do you want to come? Do you want to come?" And I'm like, "Are you joking me right now?" Like, I was like, "Okay."
Just random.
Like, weeks later, I'm on a plane with Tesla executives going to Kazakhstan, and I think in 6 weeks we installed superchargers in Kazakhstan.
That's crazy.
That was like and
Life can change like
Tesla.
that.
Tesla execs told me that was the fastest, like, how quickly they were able to go from 0 to superchargers in the ground charging cars.
That's
in 6 weeks.
Just because you screamed it out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then from there, I met like Elon's co-founder, JB Straubel. You know how Apple has Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak?
Yep.
This is the Woz that most people aren't aware of.
Yeah.
He's actually on the board again of Tesla. He's the guy, he founded like a battery recycling company, Redwood Materials now, JB Straubel. But he was kind of the battery dude. The mad scientist that started Tesla with Elon.
So he's the battery, days. Elon's the car engineer.
Elon's the Steve Jobs, He's the visionary.
The product engineer.
I mean, also product guy too, I think less.
So let's bring this full circle back to Nayaa. So I asked, so how did all that, right? Yeah, and there's a ton of other stories which you'll have to come back and share with the in-between. But all that, so how do we get to Nayaa?
So for the past 10 years, I'm in and around kind of like Elon's circle, right? And this is like 7-8 years ago when they first introduced the Cybertruck. I went to the event, and I got introduced through Elon's chief of staff to this guy, Anthony Sims. And Anthony, at the time, was a chief designer at SpaceX.
Yeah.
This is like the first designer.
He's such a good guy.
The first designer Elon hired at SpaceX, period.
Yeah.
Over a decade ago.
Yeah.
I think he worked for Elon for 12 years.
Yeah.
So I just randomly meet this guy. And again, it goes back to my, like, I hate the word networking because it sounds like you're trying to get something from people, but connecting.
No, it's connecting it. But I think I've seen you in circles with people you know and people that are strangers. But I think the difference is that you have a pure interest in whoever you're talking to.
It's genuine. It's real.
A genuine, real
it's
interest.
Real. You can't fake that.
Can't fake that. It's
like,
the authentic authenticity, right?
I've had somebody tell me before, like, you would love to just meet everybody on this planet, and I'm like, I would.
Yeah.
I mean, I know not everybody's built like me.
Yeah.
But I totally would. I think everyone has an interesting
we'll
story.
get to Anthony, but like, I think you told me the story about your dad and the Rolodex, like, kind of. I think that
was a big,
was the seed of all this.
I mean, yeah, over 30 years ago, my dad, when he was talking about all this stuff and inspiring me to do big things with my life, he hands me a physical Rolodex.
And for you youngins out there who maybe if you're like 2000 baby, or I don't know what generation that is, but look up Rolodex. It literally is like postcards on a
physical address book.
Address book.
You put in business cards.
Yes.
So since I was 12, I took that shit seriously.
Yeah.
I still have this Rolodex with business cards. I mean, it's like old now.
Yeah.
But I'll sit there and write down information. Like if I met you, you'd share some things with me. I'll write down that piece of information on the back of the business card and I'll put it in my Rolodex. Yeah. And then so the Rolodex, basically like for the past 30 years as technology evolved, it went from this physical Rolodex into a Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia, again, a history lesson for the youngins, was before there was a mobile connection on your iPhone. Cassiopeia is a handheld computer in your hand with a stylus. Yep. Then it went to like a Palm Pilot, BlackBerry with the keyboards, and then ultimately iPhone 1 to 17 or whatever, right? So my 8,000 contacts in my phone are very different from most people's because even though the contacts app kind of sucks, I put all those things that I was learning about people, the offline information that doesn't exist online, in the notes section. Yeah. So I have like dossiers of notes, even on you.
Yeah. I know this.
Yeah. I've shown you yours.
Yes.
Because I care about those things is the other part.
Yeah.
It's not meant for any kind of reason. I'm trying to connect with people at a deeper level.
Yes.
That's why those things matter.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that when somebody mentions your first name when they speak to you, it's a different connection.
Yeah.
When they start bringing up your spouse names, your kids' names, your pet names, that means they care.
How was this event? Where you're like, how does this guy know I went to this event?
Exactly.
Or,
it's paying attention to the small things.
It's making people feel special.
So I joke that I created this agentic AI company in the contact space. It's a company 30 years in the making. Yeah. Because I've taken this stuff seriously for a long time. Yeah.
So let's go back to Anthony then, chief designer at SpaceX.
Yep. So we met 5-6 years ago. We kept up as friends, social media friends on Instagram. Yeah. Like I would DM him, he would DM me, I think Anthony would joke, he always remembered me as the fire emoji guy. Anytime he'd post on something, I would be like fire emoji, right? And at one point, Anthony not only had led up design, but the products that they made.
Starlink.
Yeah, Starlink, Starship. Elon hired him to design the Dragon capsule, which is the capsule where the humans sit to go to space.
The interior design,
So Anthony and I became good friends. He'd invite me to rocket launches together. I went to the one where Trump came and whatever. We hung out with Elon after. But earlier this year in early 2025, Anthony was talking about potentially leaving SpaceX to go do something different. Yeah. And I mentioned him man, I've got this idea that's been brewing in my head for a long time. Yeah. So I mentioned to him the kind of the start of this idea earlier in 25, and then something crazy happened, dude. One day I wake up and half of my contacts, Apple contacts, is deleted. From iCloud.
How does this even happen?
And to me, my network is everything. Yeah, so I'm on the phone with Apple engineers.
Retrieve this data, damn it.
Not only that, I'm I'm gonna sue you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
This is crazy. I'm paying $29.99 a month for it never to leave iCloud. They're like, sir, we don't know what happened. But your data is gone. What the fuck? So sometimes, it's like a sign. Yeah. I called Anthony, and he probably remembers this. And
he talks about it all the time.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, we're doing this. There's no name for it, but I'm starting this company. Yeah. Somebody's got to fix this. Yeah. I keep thinking Apple or Google, somebody's going to do something about it. But I was like, okay, I guess we're doing it. Yeah. So Anthony and I started, we originally... Actually, the code name that we were working with for months was actually Dex, short for Rolodex.
Rolodex, okay, yeah.
But then over time, we figured out there is another company, I think, kind of in a similar space doing something similar. But
Dex, Dex scanner or something.
So Anthony and I are out there. So he's a designer. So me and him just start whatever's in here. I just start putting it out on paper. Yeah. And Anthony's helped me with that. And then when we were just about ready to start development. Similar to you, I angel invest in different companies. I've been around kind of the entrepreneurial space. I've never started a company like this from scratch, but I've worked around it enough to understand I did not want to work with development teams, out of India or Bangladesh or Ukraine or whatever. I've had friends do that. Yeah. It sounds painful. So
It
it is. Okay, so you have experience.
Cure Connector Philippines.
Oh my God, yeah. So I intuitively knew not to do that. So I basically, Anthony, it's just me and Anthony, co-founders in the beginning. I would go into my extensive network and just start asking everyone I knew, like, hey, do y'all know, like, I'm looking for, like, the Michael Jordan of development.
Yeah.
One guy that can do the work of 50,
Yeah.
understands AI. Like, I've got this crazy idea, but, like, to build it, it needs a special person.
Yeah.
So I think I spent probably, like, 3-4 months looking for Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And then through my network, a friend of mine who's a serial entrepreneur, he's actually in the walking group.
Yeah.
You know, Jan's part of this. I have a men's walking group with 180 guys on it.
80 high quality.
Yeah.
Very accomplished gentlemen.
My friend comes out, starts walking with me. He's like, man, this is a really neat idea. You should talk to my son-in-law. And I'm thinking, yeah, dude. Like,
whatever.
There's one out of a billion.
Is he unemployed? Like, does he need a job?
One out of a billion engineer, developer guy I'm looking for is your son-in-law.
Yeah.
So luckily, I'm modest enough to, like, take the meeting. I went and, like, had coffee and met this guy, and I knew within the first, like, 5 minutes, I was like, oh, this is my dude.
Yeah.
And then his first name is actually Jordan. So I'm looking for Michael Jordan.
Buddy.
Yeah, I'm looking for Michael Jordan.
You found Mr. Jordan.
Yeah. And what's crazy is we're bringing on another, like, a sous chef developer here in the next few weeks. His name is Michael. So I've got Michael and I've got Jordan. And
dude,
it's me and
manifest,
Anthony.
Dude, it's manifest, man.
So Nayaa is a very, very small team, but I believe, like, AI's changed the landscape when it comes to startups.
Yeah.
Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, said this year there'll be a company with less than 10 people that's valued at over 100 billion.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Why
seeing,
not us?
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Like it's like I'm on purpose not hiring a bunch of people growing this thing because just the very beginnings of it. I think in the beginning you got to be very small, lean.
You got to be lean, especially with investor money, right?
Investor money. It's also like product market fit. Until you know you've fully got that and it's time for the rocket ship to take off, I think you stay as lean as possible.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right?
So you brought up a good point in a couple of presentations is that if you really think about it, the contacts app on your phone, if you have an iPhone, I have an iPhone, hasn't changed since it came out.
Yep.
Since iPhone 1.
Dude, I did research on it.
Yeah.
Prior to the iPhone 1, on your MacBook, there was a contacts address book. It's called address book initially. It looks like the icon is the same damn icon.
Yeah, like
in 20 years, they haven't even changed the icon. Like the icon looks the same.
Yeah.
It's the the address book with like the little flaps on the side.
Yeah, like the ABCD, like the Rolodex.
In 20 years, it hasn't changed.
Bro.
It's insane.
Yeah. So I think you're hitting it right. That's one of the reasons. So throughout all this, where is Nayaa now? When will it be on market? What is the projection for Nayaa?
So most of 2025, I mean, I think.
Because when we first met, you kind of alluded to this back in June of last year already.
Yeah, this is middle of 25. I forget who, is it Michelangelo or somebody? There's one of my favorite quotes is simplicity is the ultimate sophistication.
Yeah, 100%.
Making things intuitive and simple is actually
100%.
really, really difficult.
Yes.
And Nayaa is ready to go. We're launching actually this year. Yeah. We're announcing the launch on this podcast.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Let's go, boy.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, talk to
January
me.
15th.
January 15th. Yeah. Let's go.
So this is January 2nd.
Yes.
This is, I can't think of a better place to come and announce the launch, but we're launching. We've been working in stealth mode for most of 25.
Yeah.
You know, since Jordan came on board for the past like 6-7 months. You've seen
he's a superstar. Like
as soon as I explained what I wanted to see with the app, and it's not just an app. There's a desktop version, so it's a whole platform.
Yeah.
So we've been building this thing, and as soon as I explained to Jordan just at a high level what I wanted, like over a weekend, he came up with a proof of concept.
Yeah.
And we've been iterating. I mean, hundreds of times. Like, we're building. You've seen some of the beta tests and all that kind of stuff.
Version 18, whatever on the test pilot.
Oh, it's way more than that. It's like hundreds. It's hundreds of versions. Yeah. But we've this is a part of like what my dad taught me. He's like, hey, instead of talking, just go do it. Yeah. And most of my friends, I mean, I guess we're like announcing it on this podcast. Most of my friends have no idea that I'm even working on Nayaa.
That's crazy.
I've kept it very like close because it's not even like. It's a secret.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, like this is really hard.
Yeah.
Most startups fail.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I'm
you don't
like,
want to put it out there yet?
I'm not trying to put anything out there. I'm like, even like, dude, I'm getting ready to launch in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Most people have no idea what I've been doing in 2025
That's
at all.
crazy.
Like zero.
That's crazy.
And it has nothing to do with me trying to like keep things close. It's like, I'm like, dude, this is really hard. Like, let's just go do this thing.
Give it time.
Give it time. Let's go do this thing.
To marinate a little.
Yeah. So we're launching Nayaa. Again, like
launching means App Store, download it.
App Store, download it.
Pay whatever subscription there is, free version, whatever.
Yeah. If it's already on the App Store by the time we release this, we'll have a link. You can go download it and test it out.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, dude. But like, it's essentially like your contacts app in the AI age on steroids. It's a chief of staff in your pocket.
Yeah.
Reiterating what we said at the very beginning of the podcast, you download Nayaa. It syncs with your contacts. It does 3 main things. Number 1, what it's doing is going and enriching background information and the profile photo.
That's the AI function.
That's the AI function. It's going out there, and the kind of information that it's bringing on, for instance, is like whatever's on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Professional information.
Yeah.
On the pro version, there's even like where people live is public information.
Yep.
So like even like for real estate agents, who's going to be our primary target, it's bringing in like real estate information.
Yeah.
About the kind of homes people own, all that kind of stuff.
I've seen that in real life. Like, so obviously we network and go out together and all that. And, let me show you this Nayaa app. Just give me your phone number. And Anuarbek goes through the whole process. And it'd be like, oh, you live at so-so an address and your house is valued at like $4.5 million. And people are they're tripping out, but like in a very excited way. It's like, oh my God, you got this data from your app? Like, yes.
There's even a calendar feature.
Yeah.
And it's actually built for somebody like you, like a super networker. So how many times have you gone to an event? You went to a big real lawyer event in Vegas, right?
Yep.
So when that's on your calendar, you're going to this big, for 2 days, networking event, right?
Yep.
You're there to make connections.
Correct.
So with Nayaa, there's a QR code. Whenever you meet people, they scan the QR code. It sends your contact info, your entire contact card to them.
Yeah.
But then in reverse, it says, hey, you want to do a quick exchange? So they fill out their information. And it's basic, like their full name, mobile, and email. That's all you start with.
Yeah.
So when they do that, so let's say Jan is talking to 10 people, being Jan, and everybody wants to connect with you.
Yeah.
Today, how do you connect with those people? One at a time.
One at a time.
Even if you have to,
I gotta remember their name.
Even the bumping thing.
Yeah.
You bump and it gets lost in your contacts.
I
you
gotta
have no idea.
I have no idea.
Or you get phone numbers and you're like 9 digits, blah, blah, blah. It's just like very messy.
Yes.
With Nayaa, you show your QR code and all 10 people hit it. They fill out their information. When you open Nayaa, you have a photo for all 10 people.
Yeah.
You know what part of the country they're located in, their history, professional history, imagine.
Yeah.
Whatever is available online, the AI is like neatly organized for you.
And a reminder to me that I met them at the event.
Yes.
Like it's like where you first contacted.
Oh, not only that, like those 10 people that you met at this event, the AI will ping you and say, hey, do you want me to message and follow up with these people?
Yeah. Which I need.
Yeah.
I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you could say, yeah, go ahead, and the AI can actually send out a text message.
Hey, great to meet you.
Yeah, great to meet you.
Follow up.
Keep up.
Yeah, let's get on
We even
calendar.
we have a function where we read iMessages. If somebody replies back, the AI can reply to them where you're not even in the mix.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So number 1 is the enrichment, online enrichment.
Yeah.
Number 2, that's super powerful, is how do we keep up with everybody nowadays? The way Anthony and I became friends, social media.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But like a lot of my friends hate social media.
I do.
Dopamine hits. Like as soon as you
Doom
accidentally, in the
scrolling.
beginning, I mean, all of us do this. You wake up, I go to my phone to do something productive, like look at my calendar, and a notification from Instagram pops up.
Yeah. I turn off my notifications.
I think I should do the same. But you go in there and you get lost.
Yeah.
In Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
So what if you didn't have to go to any of those damn social media apps?
I would love that.
If it all got brought to you.
Yes.
So the whole linking thing is huge because you wake up and you're reading like a digest newspaper, so of people in your network.
Yeah.
So most all updates professionally are now LinkedIn is where it's at, right?
Yeah.
That is the network for where people post promotions. I'm moving from Tesla to Apple or Apple to Tesla, whatever.
Yeah.
Any of those. I'm
Publications,
selling
new
my
articles they've
company.
written.
Yeah, articles. Anything professional is all LinkedIn.
Right.
So all those things, we're listening to the people in my contacts for anything that's changing.
Yeah.
Next, personal changes.
Yeah.
birth announcements,
graduations, new achievement.
Yeah, like engagements, graduate, all of those things that people care about, they post on Facebook, Instagram. Again, all those things are getting brought up.
Yeah.
And the really cool thing that I like about what we're doing with Nayaa is you pay attention to those things, and we've there's automated ways for you to congratulate those people.
Yeah.
You're not asking for business.
No.
Or like as a real estate agent, you're not asking, can I sell your house? Will you send me a referral? You're like, man, congratulations on your big promotion.
Yeah. Happy
right?
You're succeeding in life. Yeah.
You're just connecting at a deeper level with those people.
It's you're humanizing a digital world, right?
And then, so
10% if you use it.
So again, online enrichment is step one. Number two is this linking to socials, bringing in profile photos and all that kind of stuff. And then the thing that's really, really key, back to this Kaizen, is the offline enrichment. The reason I call it offline is really where a lot of the value is. It's things that are not available online. You and I became friends. Actually, I wrote down the day that we met.
Yeah. Yeah, you showed it to me because we were talking about it. Yeah.
I talk about on this date, I met Jan. It was at this Exotics and Elegance domain event. Anytime I meet somebody for the first time, I write that down because you always forget.
Yeah.
So whenever you and I first met, we've hung out, we've like partied together. Yeah. We've gone to 10 events and whatever. I've learned things. I've met your family. So all this information that I know about you, it may not stay fresh in my mind, but I'm feeding Nayaa all this information about Jan.
Yeah.
The mission of Nayaa is community is happiness.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what this means. Yeah. Explain it. Yeah.
So the reason, like, what does that mean? Community is happiness. I think there's a way to utilize technology for good, AI for good. The whole point of Nayaa is I've got all this information. It's to deepen the connection between you and I.
Yeah.
It's for us to do more of this.
Yes.
It's our walking group, building community, bringing people together.
Yeah.
And you know this intuitively, that ultimately leads to more business and more success.
Yeah.
Because who do we do business with?
People we enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Enjoy
people
being
we
around.
like and we trust.
We trust,
right?
Exactly.
So Nayaa, I'm hoping the app and the platform actually like helps you make better and deeper relationships and friends.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think it leads in anything that you're doing to, if you're a real estate agent, it leads to making more real estate sales.
Yeah.
If you're in luxury car sales, if you understand people and you pay attention to the relationships, you're basically bringing people kind of closer to you.
Yeah.
One of our advisors said one day, he goes, man, Nayaa is not a CRM. I go, yeah, it's not a CRM at all. He goes, it's like a network. He's like a kinetic network warming tool.
Yeah.
And I really liked that concept. And I was like, oh, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
What does he mean by that? I came up with a tagline, Nayaa, warm up your network.
Yeah.
And the next day, our advisor, Dave, he goes, no, he goes, I got something better. He goes, Nayaa, light up your network. So what he's talking about, if you want to envision your network as, when you go camping around a bonfire, when you and I first met, Jan and Anuarbek, we were not friends, right? I mean, think about this now. You have people in your life that you call family that you didn't know at one point at all.
Right.
So how do they go from that to you trusting them?
Like family.
Like family.
Yes.
I think it's through these relationships. So like if it's this analogy of a bonfire, when you first meet somebody, they're out in the cold.
Yeah.
You know nothing about them. They're not warming They're not around the Jan bonfire at all, right?
No. You don't even know if they're friend or foe.
Yeah. So with Nayaa, you enrich, you know a bit of information about them. As you start interacting with them in the real world, phone calls, text messages, hanging out with them, coffee, you start understanding that person. That's the offline enrichment, right? You're feeding the AI. Hey, these are things that I know about them. The way I envision is you're bringing it closer and closer to the bonfire. Yeah. So you go from cold to warm to hot.
Yeah, love it.
So every day when you wake up, what you're doing with your connections, with your network, is just bringing people a little bit closer
to your bonfire,
to the bonfire. And
the bonfire of connections or something.
The bonfire. I mean, the bonfire in whatever business. I mean, anybody listening to this podcast, we all have like CRMs and different things that we use when we convert your network to sales.
Yeah.
The bonfire could be that CRM. So Nayaa is CRM agnostic. Yeah. We don't care if you have Salesforce or whatever. It's you wake up and you're using this app and you're using AI for what it should be used for. Things that are really hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
It's like inundation.
You're really humanizing things. And then
Exactly.
in the business world, you transact in a very commoditized world. You actually transact on what brings you a better experience.
Right.
Like you could buy any car, but I get a better experience with this person.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so you're enriching that experience
Exactly.
through Nayaa. That's crazy. So let's wrap all this up on in timing. If you reflect on your life where you are now and you've got a rocket ship future, what would you tell the audience, like some pearls that you could say, hey, focus on these things that if you're on your path.
Yeah. I've had a wild journey.
Yeah.
I feel old, even though when I say 42, people laugh at me. I'm like, I feel old,
dude.
But and this is like, I mean, I don't even want to call it advice because it's something that I'm going through myself.
Yeah.
But I think a key word is authenticity.
Yep.
It's like, and maybe this is something that, you know, in your 40s, in your early 40s, is something that like people call it a midlife crisis. But part of me getting into, you know, starting my own company, it's been a crazy adventure. I've learned a lot of things. It's humbled me in a certain way because I understand. I think Elon Musk has a famous quote: being a founder is like staring into the abyss, eating glass. It's not fun sometimes, right?
It's not fun at all.
It sounds sexy.
The glamour.
The glamour of it, glitz and glam on Instagram.
No.
And I want to tell everyone it is nothing like that at all.
No.
At all.
No.
It's a lot of hard work.
Stress.
Handling that stress. But like, I think being as authentic to yourself, and that takes a lot of exploration. That's something that I'm, you know, processing myself. Is being authentic to yourself, and sometimes just not being afraid to just jump in and try something. Yeah. It goes for Nayaa and any other company. You just start building and interacting, you know, and it says like when you first build products, the process called product market fit, you put it in people's hands, let them use it, and then they tell you, hey, this is awesome, but you know what'd be really awesome? Yeah. Is this and this and that.
Failing to success.
Yeah. You fail your way to success. And that's part of what a lot of people don't understand is like, I probably failed more than anybody that's ever sat in this chair. You know,
it's likely.
It doesn't sound like it as we're talking because we're talking about, you know, the good things. Yeah. But we didn't mention, and I'll be very upfront in the authenticity part of it. Like, there's a lot of failure that goes with sitting where I am right now.
Well, so that's the point, though, is like just as a product, you fail your way to success.
Yep.
You as a product is your authentic self.
Yep.
And you have to do things and fail to find your authentic self.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
To be the best you product.
Yep.
Right? Because you're learning about yourself. You're learning what works for you and what doesn't.
Yeah.
As you're going out, just jumping into things. Right?
It is crazy. A lot of people like tell me
it's
that
counterintuitive.
They're like, dude, Nayaa is Anuarbek in an app form.
It is totally you.
Yeah, like everything I care about, you know, like around connecting, around networking, I'm just shoving it all into this one app, basically, right?
I love it, bro. Yeah. I love it, man. Here we are. We're recording this January 2nd, 2026. In less than 2 weeks.
Yes.
Anuarbek in digital form is going live.
Is going live. And I want to thank you, dude. Again, you were the person that believed in me first. Before this thing before this was any kind of a real product, before we had a name. Yeah. As soon as you met me, you understood who I was as a person, and you invested in the company, the people that you've introduced me to. Yeah. This is why I wanted to come to this podcast, 1st of January, and announce here the most, because you have to be thankful for people that got you.
Gratitude.
Right? Yeah. Gratitude is the most authenticity and gratitude.
You said, I think I'm working on this app. Could you imagine it? It's like, dude, whatever, I'm in. I was like, whatever, I'm in.
It wasn't, yeah. And then the way it works is it builds confidence, right? You got one investor, you get a second investor, and whatever. Like you and Matthew came on. And Matthew came on first, and then like everybody else, and it's like we're in a very different place now than we were earlier in 25, launching this company.
Just a quarter ago, bro.
Yeah.
Just
even
a quarter ago. Getting
to where we are today, like I'm very proud of what Anthony and Jordan and I have accomplished. Like it's
should be.
Yeah, just to get to this.
As a friend, you should be.
Just to get to this point of launching, a lot of startups don't even get to this point.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm super excited.
Which is fantastic.
I think 2026 is going to be a pretty incredible year. Yeah.
Anuarbek, the unofficial mayor of Austin. If you're ever in Austin, please do look him up. If you're into health, there's a men's walking group I'm a part of every morning, 8 o'clock.
Come join us.
Join us. We walk for 4 miles and we just talk life.
Yep.
The Prince of Kazakhstan.
Stop.
Very friend of Elon, brought Tesla to Austin, or part of the team.
Yep.
Very accomplished, but man, nothing but the brightest future I see.
Thank you so much.
I'm proud to be associated with you as a person and as an investor in Nayaa. Once again, where can they find you? Where can they find Nayaa?
Follow me if you want to hear the founder story. I'm going to be posting a lot more in 2026. Of
course.
Back to this authenticity and just telling people the good and the bad of being a founder.
Yeah.
My Instagram, Anuarbek Iman, so at ANUARBEKIMAN. And you can follow Nayaa, the company story, at Nayaa.community on Instagram.
Nayaa.
Nayaa.community.
And starting January 15th, you can look in the App Store on iPhone first.
Yep.
And
Android as well.
Is it Android?
Yep.
Oh, okay,
we're gonna be launching them both. Yeah.
Investor news.
Yes.
Nayaa to download. Go to Nayaa.com.
Yep.
To learn more about it. This is what it's about, man. 2026.
Let's go.
Thanks for coming on board, brother.
Yeah, man.
My younger brother, Anuarbek Imanbayev. We always have a gift for our guests.
Love it.
Which is an N2N podcast cap. Might not be sized, but whatever.
No. I got this is a Kazakh head. I gotta expand this a little bit.
Man. Yeah. I got it. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for coming on the show, bro. Listen, you're always welcome to come back. There's so many more pearls about this man's life. It's been an incredible journey. Thank you for having me be a part of it, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
And here's to 2026 and Naaya's
Love
success, brother. Good to see you, man.
Let's go.
Let's go. Once again, Anuarbek, Nayaa.community. I'm going to close the show as I close every day. Real quickly, if you're new to the show, if you've been listening for a while, you know when my head hits the pillow before I close my eyes, I thank God and the universe one more time to have an opportunity to hopefully inspire just at least one person. And if that was you today, and I know there are people that have been inspired by this man's story, please do share the show. If your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. Don't owe me a karmic debt. Share the show. Be great today, but be even more grateful. And I'll look forward to bringing you another episode in 2026. Let's go.